is the biggest prize in dogs, the Best in Show trophy from Crufts. But the other prestigious competition is the annual Top Dog competition. Now, 2011 has been an exciting year in the dog show world, and we've seen several dogs challenging for top honours week in, week out, blowing the race for Top Dog wide open. Now, coming up in the programme, we've got full coverage of Best in Show from LKA, the last general championship show of the year. We talk to all the top winners from the Top Dog competition, and we have expert analysis from our canine panel. Welcome to Around the Dog World. I'm Marina Scott. Today I'm joined at the Kennel Club Library by our canine experts, Simon Parsons and Andrew Brace, to analyse the 2011 show season, in which we've seen 16 all breeds Best in Show winners. We've seen 4 dogs winning 3 all breeds Best in Shows: a Standard Poodle, Toy Poodle, Irish Water Spaniel and Bichon Frise. The biggest win of the year went to Jet, the veteran flat-coated retriever, who took Best in Show at Crufts way back in March. Show champion Vibos the Kentuckian went on to take the breed record and Best in Show at Scottish Kennel Club in May and retired at the top, leaving the door wide open for the title of Top Dog All Breeds 2011. Best in Show winners have included a Wire Fox Terrier, Bearded Collie, Flat-Coated Retriever, Irish Terrier, Australian Terrier, Bichon Frise, Irish Water Spaniel, Boxer, Bernese Mountain Dog, Border Collie, another Boxer, Petite Basset Griffon Vendéen, Standard Poodle, Pomeranian and a Toy Poodle. So gentlemen, that's quite some list of Best in Show winners. Is there any favourites among them for you, Simon?
I'm not sure about favourites, but I've found it quite exciting that 3 of them, the Australian Terrier, the Irish Terrier and the Irish Water Spaniel, have come from overseas, and almost immediately they started their British show career. They went right to the very top, and it's given us some exciting competition this year.
What about you, Andrew? Anything that stood out for you?
Well, I had the good fortune to judge Best in Show at Manchester, one of the earlier shows of the year, where my winner was a Bearded Collie, Indiana Jones, who I don't think I've ever seen before. He impressed me enormously. He's not had as hard a campaign as some of the other dogs that we're going to be talking about later. But the two of the others who I have judged and have impressed me greatly are the Petite Basset Griffon Vendéen bitch, Jilly, and the Standard Poodle, Dino.
Well, before we talk about the winners from last year, we're going to familiarise those of you who aren't seasoned dog show exhibitors with the UK dog show scene. What is the path to glory, and how does a dog win through to Best in Show? Andrew has this guide.
The most popular form of canine competition in this country is the dog show, the contest for Kennel Club registered purebred dogs such as those you've seen at Crufts. The Kennel Club sets a written breed standard for every breed of dog it recognises, which describes the ideal conformation, temperament, movement and individual characteristics for that breed. At shows, the judge must compare each dog with the breed standard to find the dog nearest to that ideal picture of the breed. When each breed is judged, the judge awards Best Dog, Best Bitch and reserves in each sex too. The judge will then award Best of Breed between the dog and the bitch, which should be exactly that, the best dog in the breed on that day. When a dog has won Best of Breed, it's then qualified to enter the group ring, where every Best of Breed in each group is assessed by one judge. In the biggest group, Gundogs, you can actually have as many as 36 breeds in the ring at the same time. Once they've assessed all the dogs, the judge awards group 1 to 4 in that order. Now we come to Best in Show, where the winner from each of the 7 groups is judged again by one judge. The judge will go over and move the dogs and then award Best in Show and Reserve Best in Show, occasionally with a special award going to the best dog of the opposite sex to the Best in Show winner, which need not, of course, be the Reserve Best in Show winner.
Thank you, Andrew. Every year, Dog World compiles a league table of the top show dogs in the country. It's based on a point system where points are allocated for challenge certificates, best of breeds, group placings and wins, best in shows and reserve. Now, 2010's winner was a Chinese crested called Champion Vanatonia Unwrapped, otherwise known as Nora, and she won a record-breaking 8 best in shows in a single season. So moving on to 2011, Andrew, you awarded Best in Show to a beautiful bearded collie back in January. That was an early favourite to take top Pastoral, but actually it went right down to the wire at the very end of the year, didn't it?
Yeah, there have been several Pastoral breeds in contention, and we all watched Elmo, the German Shepherd, winning the Pastoral group at Crufts under Ellis Hume, where he put on a sterling performance. And he's been an amazing dog in several ways. Firstly, he's been a great ambassador for this often maligned breed by virtue of the fact that he seems to have bridged the gap between the more Alsatian-minded breeders and the German purists. And he's impressed a really wide cross-section of judges because of his wonderful breed type, his incredible movement, and of course this wonderful character that he has.
And Simon, towards the end of the year, top Pastoral was still so wide open. There was only a few points separating the top dogs.
Indeed, at the last show of the year, LKA, any one of 4 dogs could have ended up as top of the group, depending upon how they did under the individual judges at that show. One of them is the Cardigan Corgi. Her name is Champion Floating Helen Hylin, called Holly. She comes from Holland. It's being shown in this country by American dog photographer Lisa Croft Elliott. This is one of the 2 Corgi breeds. I think most viewers will probably be more familiar with the Pembroke, the one that until recently didn't have a tail. But the Cardigan has been perhaps slightly the poor relation over the years, but in the last 3 or 4 years, thanks to some very clever breeding, it has really come up in quality and now quite frequently beats the Pembrokes in the group to win group successes. One of the other dogs who was in contention at the LKA was a Shetland sheepdog, Champion Edgelonian Singing the Blues, owned by another successful breeder, Debbie Pearson. This dog is a particularly attractive colour. He's a blue merle. He makes a very striking picture in the ring, particularly outside where the coat shines in the sun. Always beautifully presented, as are all our top winning dogs this year.
But top Pastoral 2011 went to the Border Collie, Sylvester, show champion, Australian champion, Denari De Beers. I spoke to his co-owner, Gary Clark, about their year. How does it feel being top of the Pastorals?
It's been fantastic. It was a really exciting achievement this year. A hotly contested group, as you say, some top class breeds, and for it to go right to the last show of the year made it a really exciting journey for us. But yeah, very thrilled that Sylvester was top dog. First Border Collie to do that, and a great run of success we've had. It's been an excellent year.
And tell us a little bit about Sylvester and his last couple of years in the country.
Yeah, Sylvester was imported just over 3 years ago. He came as a young dog. He was already an Australian champion. The 3 years he's been shown since then, he's been the top Border Collie in the country all 3 years. He's now won 25 CCs. We'd never won a group before. I had Sylvester and he's won 5 now. And I also had the great thrill of winning Best in Show this year with him at an all-breed show. So it's been a fantastic journey and probably a dog in a million for me.
Absolutely. Well, many congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, next on the top dog list is our Terrier group, and the Terrier finished 6th in the top dog table. There are actually 3 Terriers listed in the top 10, and this was another hotly contested group.
Yes, it was a very hot group this year, and appropriately so, because at the end of the day, we always consider the Terrier group to be the most British of all our groups. I judged a Terrier group in the summer at Blackpool Championship Show, And 3 of the contenders actually placed 1, 2 and 3 under me in that group. First was this exquisite young Scotty bitch, Stuane Florette, bred and owned by Stuart Plain, who was the protege of Reg Gadsden, a great Scotty man and one of our most famous and much loved all-rounder judges. Although very young, she won several CCs as a puppy, and had to wait till her first birthday before she could actually legally become a champion. She was my winner, a great Scotty, wonderful on the table, and a super mover too, with plenty of attitude. Whilst second was the American imported Irish Terrier, another great show dog with a magnificent forehand. And then, of course, we had the Dandy Dinmont bitch, Cloverwood Drizzle, owned by Glenn Tinsley in the West Country, but usually handled now by Jeff Corish. And an interesting bitch, because this kennel has cooperated considerably with Mike Macbeth's famous Canadian kennel, the Glam's Dandy Dinmonts. And Drizzle, the Dandy Dinmont bitch, is the latest to come from this cooperation. So, I had a jolly good terrier group.
There was another very strong contender in the terrier group, was the Australian Terrier. His name is Champion Jascarin Peperoncino, comes from Scandinavia. This is another breed which in the last few years has really come up in quality, even though it's not bred in any great numbers anywhere in the world. But there are some extremely clever breeders, and they all cooperate with each other from Britain, from America, Australia, and Sweden and Finland in particular. This dog, his mother, was a big winner in Britain, and she produced in her first litter the first ever Australian Terrier to win a Best in Show at a championship show in this country. She was then sent out to Scandinavia to some friends of the breeders, and there she had another litter, and lo and behold, there was a second Best in Show winner, this dog. So it's been a remarkable story.
Well, the top terrier was Finn, the Irish Terrier, champion, American champion, Fleet Street, Fenway fans. I'm glad I've said that. He's the first of our US imports on the list as well, but his win showed the quality and competition amongst the terrier group, because when he won a group 3 out of 4 times, he actually went on to win Best in Show or Reserve Best in Show.
Well, Finn, as his registered name Fenway Fan will reveal, comes from America, where he was one of the top winning terriers of his time out there, and did very well at the very famous terrier show Montgomery on 2 occasions. In Britain, Finn's handler is John Averis, who comes from another famous dog owning dynasty in this country. And I believe, Marina, that you caught up with him at one of the shows this year, I think.
That's right, we caught up with him at LKA.
Well, John, it must be really satisfying to come out top terrier this year, especially when a lot of the terrier breeds this year were competing for the top awards, such as Best in Show.
Yeah, it's been a tough year and a brilliant result. It's been a long year and we've seemed to get through it quite well, and today, yeah, couldn't be happier.
And Finn is a top show dog as well. I mean, he really shows off himself to his best. Is he like a natural one, or have you had to work hard to train him?
No, it's natural, a pleasure to show. He's the first Irish to be top terrier, so very proud of that. Yeah, couldn't be any happier.
And your kennel has had so much success in the past. Is it still like really rewarding to win the top terrier award for the year?
Yeah, of course it is fabulous. Every time it's better. My mother won it back in '98, top terrier, so...
Well, many congratulations and good luck for next year.
Thank you very much.
Well, now we move on to the Gundog group, and we've got a similar situation in this group, haven't we, Simon?
Yes, it's an interesting coincidence in many ways, because the top winning Gundog this year is an Irish Water Spaniel by the name of show champion and American champion, Whistle Stop's Elements of Magic. Not only is this the first time an Irish Water Spaniel has been top Gundog, just like it was the first time for the Irish Terrier in the Terrier group. Of course, they're both Irish breeds, and they both came over from America at the beginning of this year and have never looked back in this country. Merlin is owned by Judith Carruthers from England in partnership with one of his breeders, Colleen McDaniel from the States. Judith also owned his grandfather, who did very well in the ring a few years ago. He spent a little time in America, and now his grandson has come back here and is sort of returning the compliment, as it were.
And doing exceptionally well. 8 groups, 2 reserve Best in Shows, and 3 Best in Shows.
Not bad going, because no Water Spaniel did ever won more than one before this year.
Well, we found Judith, Merlin's co-owner, to look back at their wonderful 2011.
Judith, what's it been like since bringing Merlin into the UK?
It's been a complete roller coaster. I had no idea when I went to see him in America last November just exactly what was going to happen. I really loved him. He's a grandson of a dog that I sent out there a few years ago, and when I saw him I thought, oh yeah, he could really do well in the UK. He's very typey, wonderful personality, but I had no idea. It's been wonderful.
And what do you think it is about him that puts him beyond the rest of the Gundog group?
I think it's his personality. Yeah, he's very breed typical, he's eye-catching, he's very balanced, but I think he's got that X factor, if you like, that draws people to him. You can't not look at him. He's a dog that attracts everybody, whether they're show people or not. Everybody is drawn to him, and he's such a lovely person. Nothing phases him. He's wonderful. He's just a joy.
Well, many congratulations to you and to Merlin, and here's to the next 12 months.
Thank you very much indeed.
So we mentioned earlier in the programme about Jet, the veteran flat-coated retriever that took reserve best in show at Crufts. Now we mentioned that at the top of the programme, and we also said that he won the breed record. Now what does this actually mean then, Simon?
Oh, well, in order to become a champion or a show champion, a dog needs to win 3 challenge certificates under 3 different judges. But once it's got those, it can carry on competing for the challenge certificates for as long as the owner wants to continue showing it. And so you can pile up quite a considerable number of CCs, as we call them, if the dog is good enough. And in each breed, obviously over the years, there's a dog who's won more challenge certificates than any other dog, and we call that the breed record holder.
And Andrew, I understand there's been a couple of Labradors that are worth being talking about as well.
Yeah, interestingly, despite the fact that the Labrador Retriever is one of our most popular and numerically strong breeds, they seem to have had a bit of a raw deal at group level in recent years. But this year there have been several that have figured highly. At Blackpool, my group winner, the first in the group actually, was a yellow male, a dog called Carpenny Made a Million, who impressed me enormously. At Southern Counties, Ron Menaker judged the group and had a very beautiful yellow bitch second, Kim Valley Star Attraction at Farnfield. Then we saw at South Wales, Feffy Summerfield placing second a chocolate male. That was Naken Way Out West. All these dogs are title dogs, of course. And then Clive Davis my fellow Welshman, Clive Davis at the Gundog Breeds of Scotland, actually had second in the group, a dog called Salty Dog of Tampa Bay, a yellow dog who actually, he's not a young dog. He's come over from the States. He's got his American title, his Canadian title. He competed at the Eukanuba Champion Stakes finals. So he's quite an established dog. So we've actually had 4 Labradors sort of in the placings this year. So it's actually been quite a good year for Labs.
And do a lot of them work as well in the field?
Some of them do. Some of our show breeders do actually take the dogs working and get their full titles. The majority of Labradors that I know are perfectly agile and perfectly fit.
Well, now we move on to the Hound group, and one of the most lovable dogs you will ever see, Jilly, the petite Basset Griffon Vendéen. Now, she was reserve best in show back at Crufts early in the year at only 16 months old. Her full name, Champion Soul Trader Peekaboo. And to be honest, she's never looked back after that big win at Crufts. We caught up with her owners, Gavin and Sarah Robertson.
Now, Jilly first burst onto the scene at Crufts this year when she went reserve best in show under Paolo Dundino. Did you think that she was going to see this sort of success this year?
Absolutely not. We had so many different plans for this year for showing wise, and then when Crufts happened, we had to change everything. Obviously she's had an absolutely amazing and fantastic year, and she's just only turned 2, and only 2 weekends ago she was best in show at Amsterdam Winners' Show, where she was best in show over 4,500 dogs, which was just amazing. So we just cannot believe the year that we've had with Jilly, of being such a young girl as she is, and then we'll just wait and see what the future holds, really.
Well, Gavin, she's only 2 years old, so presumably she's still got a long career ahead of her. What are your plans for next year?
Well, because she is only just 2, we're going to show her next year. If she'd been a little bit older and she's had the year she had this year, then we'd maybe have thought we'll take her out of the ring and maybe have litter puppies from her or just retire her. But as she's just 2, she's actually in the last few months really coming into herself. We think she's got better in the last few months, so we're going to show her all of next year and then hopefully breed her in 2013. But we're going to start the year rolling with Jilly, hopefully.
So Gilly's actually kicked off her 2012 campaign with a best in show already at Boston. Now, Andrew, you clearly have a soft spot for her, and we know that from earlier in the programme when you mentioned her. There's something special about this dog, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. She's obviously, like all of our top dogs, she's an excellent example of her breed. She's a wonderfully fit and sound mover. But moreover, she has this wonderful charisma and presence about her, which she exudes not just standing but moving. And interestingly, she's sired by a dog called Cappuccino, who I first met at a show in Bleeswijk in Holland several years ago. And the young lady that was showing him had also won Best of Breed with the Grand Basset Griffon Vendéen. And at the end of judging, I made a point of speaking to her, and I said, do you realise what an exciting dog this was? And anyhow, I spoke to some friends of mine in the UK, but in the meantime, the young lady, she's called Gwen Hukeshoven, she'd already been speaking to Gavin and Sarah because there was some of their breeding behind him. They then took Cappuccino to the UK, where he had a very successful run. So Cappuccino was mated to their big winning aphrodisiac, a beautiful bitch, and out popped Gilly. I mean, she had it in the bag, really, with that kind of a pedigree.
Absolutely, and she's ended up 4th top dog, all breeds, 2011.
And still a baby.
Very much so, and she's got a big year ahead of her, I think. Now, moving on to the podium places, where top utility 2011 and 3rd top dog all breeds was the Standard Poodle, champion Del Tharthoso Salve Me from Afterglow. Now, I spoke to Mike Gadsby, one of Dino's handlers, about their run up to the end of the year.
Well done, Mike. Top utility 2011 with Dino, the Standard Poodle. Happy with these results this year?
Yeah, delighted. I mean, he's really young. He just turned 2 a couple of months ago. So, I mean, for a big dog, he's a really young dog. So, I mean, he's had a fantastic year.
And now best in shows at Welsh Kennel, City of Birmingham and Midland County. So he actually kind of was really on form towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I mean, he was still a real gangly teenager at the beginning of the year. And he's just matured beautifully as he gone. We retired him at Midland Counties with the best in show, which I thought was a perfect time. He couldn't be top dog. He couldn't be beaten for top utility. So, it was perfect.
Well, congratulations and good luck for 2012.
Thank you very much indeed.
So Simon, in that clip, we actually saw another very tall man handling Dino. Who was that?
Well, Dino's official owner is Jason Lynn, and Jason and Mike Gadsby, who you saw a moment ago, that they are partners in what is one of Britain's most successful kennels of all breeds, the famous Afterglow kennel at Blackpool in Lancashire. Jason is American and came over to Britain about 7 or 8 years ago, and between him and Mike, they are usually in contention with one of the top dogs. Dino's story is interesting, actually, because his breeder is Carlos Fernandez Renau from Spain, who is one of the most talented breeders of poodles that there's ever been, with his dogs running all around the world. This dog, in fact, was actually born in Britain because his mother was sent by Carlos to the Aikman family near Birmingham, old friends, who whelped the bitch and produced this exciting litter. Jason and Mike went down to see them. It was love at first sight, and so Dino has joined their kennel and has done brilliantly ever since.
Now, another poodle who had a great end to 2011 was the toy poodle called Graham, champion Vanatonia You'll See. Now, he won 3 best in shows on the trot in the autumn.
He did indeed. He'd been a consistent winner before that, but his big break came at the Belfast show, where he won his first best in show, and then in 2 weeks' time he'd won 2 more best in shows, one in England and one in Wales, making a remarkable hat trick. I think one of the interesting aspects about this dog is that his owners are Lee Cox and Tom Isherwood, very well-known breeders of poodles under the Vanatonia kennel name, but they are also highly successful in quite a number of other breeds, notably, of course, Chinese Cresteds, where their famous Nora was the top dog of all breeds the year before. So they've had dogs in the top few for the last 2 years. And indeed, they also have top-winning Clumber Spaniels, top-winning miniature poodles, top-winning standard poodles. So a very clever kennel in the sense of the word.
Now, you've discussed Dino and Graham, the standard poodle and the toy poodle. Now, with some sort of irony that poodles have done very well this year at top level, in what some have been describing as hairspray year. What does this mean?
Well, it's been an interesting and in many ways a controversial year. What it's all about is that the Kennel Club rules state that no substance which alters the colour or texture of a dog's coat may be present in the dog's coat when it's being shown. Well, that's all very well, and I think most of us would agree that obviously you can't dye a dog or cheat in that way. But, and it's quite a big but, there is the question that a lot of breeds involve quite a bit of careful presentation to look their best. For example, poodles, to get their top knot looking good, most people would use just a soupçon of hairspray. Similarly, in the terrier breeds with their hard coats, you would use a touch of chalk to help present it. You're supposed to get rid of all this before it goes in the ring, and people try, but you can't get rid of every single bit of it. Well, at Crufts this year, coat testing was carried out in 2 breeds, the West Highland White Terrier and the miniature poodle, on 2 of the Dog CC winner and the Dog Reserve CC winner in each case. This isn't the first time that coat testing has happened. It's happened fairly regularly over the years, but I think the fact that it took place at Crufts, the showpiece show, as it were, for the dog world, it really angered the people in these breeds in particular, because they feel that they can't present their dogs properly without using just a minimal amount of these substances. Anyway, there was a Facebook campaign, there was a petition, and Mike Gadsby, who you saw earlier on, brought up this subject at the Kennel Club annual general meeting, which is something which has certainly never happened before in living memory at any rate. There was a great deal of strong feeling about this, and anyway, the Kennel Club has now agreed to look again at the rules.
So you mentioned something about Facebook in there. Now, Andrew, how much of an effect did that have on the momentum for this campaign that Mike was leading?
It was actually quite staggering. Within days of Mike having made the decision to do something about this, a Facebook group was set up. I mean, there were thousands of people supporting this. And we saw, probably for the first time in history, that an example of real people power, ordinary grassroots dog exhibitors, putting their point of view across, albeit through their champion of the moment, Mike Gadsby. And I think it's to the poodle people's credit that since the Kennel Club has relaxed preparation rules and isn't coat testing at the moment, whereas a lot of people assumed that we'd see very dramatic presentation in the ring, what has happened in actual fact is that I think all the poodle people and people involved in presented breeds have actually taken a remarkably sensible approach and are producing their dogs moderately so that they can prove to the Kennel Club that they are responsible and present their dogs without going over the top. And the fact that we've had 6 best in show wins this year going to poodles, I think is very much to the credit of the poodle people.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, we're now ready for the finale, Best in Show LKA 2011. And the Best in Show dogs led in by the Boxer from the working group, the Akita, the utility group winner, the Irish Water Spaniel from the Gundogs, followed by the Basenji, the Hound group winner, the Pastoral group winner, the Shetland Sheepdog, from the Terrier group, the Dandy Dinmont Terrier, and lastly, from the toy group, the Pomeranian.
Ladies Kennel Association staged the final General Championship Show of the year over 2 days at the NEC in Birmingham. The Best in Show judge was Albert White, one of Britain's best known all-rounder judges.
Mr. White is looking first at the Boxer, which he will now move because he judged it a few moments ago. The winner of the working group, which came through from 1,501 dogs. This is the top one of that group.
Yvonne Miller's boxer bitch champion Romaro, first issue by Walk-On, has 45 cc's and was best in show at Leeds in July.
Mr. White also earlier in the evening did the utility group. And the winner was the Akita. It was a bitch, 7954, and it won its way through from a group of 1,613 dogs.
Faye and Carol Bevis's Akita Dyke Bar Revenger's Suite at Steekow was winning her second CC on the day.
From the Gundog group yesterday, under Carol Coon, we have the Irish Water Spaniel, a dog, number 3326. And this was top dog of a Gundog group of 2,402 dogs, the Irish Water Spaniel.
Judith Carruthers and Colleen McDaniel's imported Irish Water Spaniel, show champion, American champion at Whistle Stop's Elements of Magic, has 8 cc's and was best in show at Darlington, Bournemouth and 3 counties.
The Irish Water Spaniel winner of the Gundog group.
Merlin secured his first CC and Group 3 at his first UK show at Welks in April, and is the only Irish Water Spaniel to win more than one best in show at UK Championship shows. He ended the year as top Gundog.
On the table now is the Basenji, winner of the Hound group under Isabel Dyke. This is a dog, 3904, and it won its way through from a group containing 1,523 dogs.
Danny and Nikki Cullen and Tony Agnew's Basenji, Tokaji Texas Ranger, was winning his first CC. There's no stranger to success, as he took the reserve CC and Puppy Group 2 at Blackpool.
The Basenji, winner of the Hound group.
He qualified for the Pup of the Year finals at Hound Show. There are 3 qualifiers from the successful litter.
On the table now is the Shetland Sheepdog. We saw this one win Pastoral group under Keith Nathan earlier this evening. It is a dog, 9551, and it won its way through from a group of 1,545 dogs.
This is Anne Stafford's Shetland Sheepdog, champion Ranadale Bugsy Malone.
The Shetland Sheepdog, winner of the Pastoral group.
This Sheltie has 10 cc's and was handled by Anne's daughter, Claire, who bred her.
On the table now is the Dunedin Terrier, winner of the Terrier group yesterday under Super Court. It is a bitch, and its number is 544. And it won its way as top terrier in a group that contained 1,116 dogs.
Jeff Corish handled Glenn Tinsley's Dandy Dinmont, champion Cloverwood Lemon Drizzle. She has 13 cc's.
The Dandy Dinmont Terrier, winner of the Terrier group.
She won the group at East of England in July and Bournemouth and Welsh Kennel Club in August. She was best in show in National Terrier and was Group 2 at Driffield, SKC in August and Leeds.
On the table now is the Pomeranian, winner earlier on this evening of the toy group under Liz Stannard. It is a dog, and its number is 6839. And it was top dog, toy group that contained 1,852 dogs.
Astrid Ogilvy's Pomeranian champion Degsy Starman at Pakov was winner of the toy group.
The Pomeranian, winner of the toy group.
Snuff has 7 CCs and 2 Breed Club Best in Show awards to his credit at the Pomeranian Club in March and the Scottish Pom Club in 2010.
Mr. White is moving all the dogs around the ring once more.
So we've got the Boxer, the Japanese Akita, the Irish Water Spaniel, the Basenji, the Shetland Sheepdog, the Dandy Didmont Terrier, and last but not least, the Pomeranian.
The boards have been called for. We're about to witness who comes best in show LKA 2011, and it is the Boxer. Number 10421, best in show LKA 2011. Reserve best in show goes to the Basenji, winner of the Hound group, number 3904. So will these two dogs do a lap of honour, best in show and reserve best in show, LKA 2011, the Boxer, number 10421, and the Basenji, number 3904.
Runner-up top dog 2011 was the Doberman champion Sue Petter's Ozzy Osborne. Now Ozzy has achieved some great things this year, and I spoke to one of his owners, Sue Mycroft, about the 2011 they've had.
Sue, what a great year you and Ozzy the Doberman's had this year. Top working, runner-up all breeds overall as well. You must be really chuffed.
Oh yeah, it's been amazing, absolutely amazing. And to take the breed record into the bargain at Paynton earlier on this year, that was 42 tickets. And he's gone on from there and he's now got 50 of them, so can't be bad really.
That's a lot of tickets. Now what's going to happen next year? You'd think that if he's got his breed record now that he might put his feet up and retire?
Semi-retired. We're going to bring him out more selectively, pick the judges based on the fact that they've either not been over him, of which they were getting fewer and fewer, or maybe they've already been over him and they don't like him, but it will reduce the number of shows we actually get to. But he'll still be there whenever we can.
Well, many congratulations to you, Ozzy, and the partnership as well that owns him.
So but Ozzy's been a very consistent breed winner, and in 2011 alone he won 24 CCs, 9 groups, a reserve best in show, and 2 working and pastoral breeds best in show. That's quite some year.
Yes, he's been one of those dogs who's been a consistent winner throughout his life, building up to his start year, as it were, in 2011. It was a good year for him because he also became the top CC winning Doberman of all time, which there have been some pretty good dogs in that breed over the years, so that's quite an honour to have.
And there were 2 other working breeds who made it into the top 10, the Bouvier de Flandre and the Boxer. The Bouvier finished his year in October winning reserve best in show at Midland Counties.
Yes. This is yet another of the young American imports that's come over this year. His name is Champion I'm Special in Essence Movado at Canix, would you believe?
Mm-hmm.
Canix is one of Britain's top winning kennels of all time, not only in Bouviers but in several other breeds as well. He's co-owned by Fiona Lambert, one of the partners in the Canix affix, and Janet Hughes, two well-known British Bouvier breeders, with his American breeder Pat Murray, and he's won I think 7 or 8 groups this year, handled by Dave Killilea, who is perhaps better known for showing some brilliant taquitos of his own, but on this occasion he's showing this dog for friends.
And Andrew, there were 2 boxers, a dog and a bitch, who won top spot during the year, and we saw the bitch win at LK early in the programme.
We did indeed. Yeah, 2 boxers this year, both Best in Show winners, both brindles, both big ticketed dogs. The male of which, winner woke lust at first sight, Max, feels as if he's been around forever. He fits the breed standard to a T. He's a dog completely devoid of exaggeration. And I think many of his big ring successes have been down to the fact that he moves so well, particularly behind. And this is a breed that is not, I have to say, renowned for outstanding movement.
And the bitch, Simon?
Yes, well, Max has had some tough competition in the breed this year, and it is in fact the bitch who has ended up the leading boxer and in the top 10 of all breeds. She's called Champion Roamaro, first issue at Walk On, and she's owned by Yvonne Miller, who comes from Stranraer in Scotland, and with her husband Walker they travel to nearly all the shows throughout the country, must use up an enormous amount of petrol every year, and their efforts are rewarded every year with enormous success. But this year they've really reached the heights with 2 Best in Show wins for their lovely boxer bitch, who is another one who really covers the ground on the move.
All those hundreds of miles, then worthwhile.
Definitely. Yes.
And finally, we come to our Top Dog 2011. The numbers speak for themselves. 3 Best in Shows, 3 Reserve Best in Shows, a Toy Group Show Best in Show, 13 group wins, and picking up 15 CCs, making him the breed record holder with a total of 42 CCs. The Dog World Arden Grange top dog for 2011 is Champion Pamplona Bring Me Sunshine, a Bichon Frise, otherwise known as Eric.
And it is the Bichon Frise. Now he's going to give someone else the honour. It's the Bichon. The Bichon Rangers. Bichon Frise.
Jeff, how does it feel being top dog?
Well, it feels absolutely wonderful, obviously. It's been a hard year. You know, campaigning a top dog, it is a hard year, but the satisfaction at the end of it is fantastic. It's a feeling that's very hard to put into words. It's a very comforting feeling. It can be stressful, and it's hard work, and it's never ending. And of course, with a dog like Eric, who's a white dog, the work involved is never ending. It's day in and day out. So, you know, it's tremendous work. So at the end of it, to see the end result, which is top dog all breeds, it's fabulous. It's fabulous, and it makes all those late nights all worthwhile.
And Michael, Eric was a top dog 3rd place last year, and to become top dog this year, that's quite a special run.
Yes, I think it's more special the fact that we bred him. We campaigned him fearlessly under everybody. We didn't pick and choose our judges. You know, we knew we had a great dog in Eric, so we just took him all over the country. He's never let us down. He's been one of those dream dogs. It was a little bit, I don't know how I felt today, because he also took the breed record off his grandfather that we have at home, and we weren't really sure. It sounds silly, but we felt a little bit sad that he did it, but it's a great achievement to be able to move on. So, you know, yes, we're very pleased and very happy and glad it's all over.
Glad it's all over, and now you can go and cut the cake.
And have a drink.
Yes, the drink more than anything.
So Eric started the year winning the first 10 groups he competed in, including Crufts. Then he went on to win 3 Reserve Best in Shows and 2 Best in Show awards up to the end of June. I mean, what a fabulous record, what a fabulous dog.
Yes, it's certainly a tribute to his handlers for keeping him not only in such wonderful condition, and the coat, of course, looking perfect as you'd expect every time, but also keeping him happy and cheerful in the show ring, which is the essence of a Bichon Frise. They should be everybody's friend all the time, and this dog, as you've seen, is always that. Certainly a remarkable record, especially when you consider that they also won Top Dog with his grandfather Buster and with his great-great-grandmother Fatal many years ago. Obviously, both these dogs appear in his background, and both of them were also the Breed CC record holder before he took it over this year. So, a fantastic line of success.
So, Andrew, you judged Eric, and you've given him one reserve best in show and one reserve ticket. Now, that must have been two different dogs on the day?
The most important thing about judging dogs is that you should judge them on the day as you see them, regardless of any form or any potential. When I had him at Manchester, he was my reserve best in show behind that splendid bearded collie, and he trucked around the ring there, and in my opinion, he was the second best in the lineup of 7 dogs, so he won reserve best in show. I judged him at the end of the season in the breed. When it came to the challenge certificate, I had a dog from the limit class who I preferred in 2 particular areas, who was equally well presented, moved equally well, and was showing equally well. So I'm afraid Eric had to be content with the reserve. And in fairness to Michael, he was the perfect gentleman in the ring, the ultimate good sport, and shook the hands of the young lady who won, who shortly after made her dog a champion. So it's just the luck of the draw. And as I said, if you judge them as you see them on the day, nothing's ever in the bag.
Let's take a look at the final Top Dog table for 2011. Eric is away at the top of the leaderboard with 150 points, the Bichon Frise. Runner-up was the Doberman Aussie on 124 points, followed by Dino, the Standard Poodle, and Jilly, the Petit, on 104 and 102 points respectively. And there was a close race for 5th, with Merlin, the Irish Water Spaniel, on 96, Finn, the Irish Terrier, 93, and Ishi, the Boxer, 90. Now, our top 10 is rounded off with the Scottish Terrier, the Toy Poodle, and the Dandy Dinmont. It takes a lot of time, dedication, and effort to campaign a show dog at this level. So many congratulations to Jeff, Michael, and Eric on all their achievements this year, and to all the other winners too. Now, the 2012 season is already underway, and I wonder who will be this year's winner. But we'll see you next time on Around the Dog World, where we'll be featuring the Eukanuba Champion Stakes Final and the Pro Plan Dog World Pup of the Year Final.